Joyous Rising family. Hello, how is everybody? I'm so glad to be here. I'm not going to be here long, I promise, because I have a meeting to go to in a few minutes, but I had to come on because this is the collapse, that we've been waiting for. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. Hello, everybody. It is Friday. Yay! Friday, March the 24th, 2023, and the time is 12:41 p.m. We do have some breaking news. This is the collapse that we've been waiting for. Now, let me make it clear. A few years ago, I want to say it was like 2017, a lot of us who are in the Intel community were told when Deutsche Bank collapses, you know that the end is here. You know that that's the signal that all of the banks across the world are going to collapse. I don't know why they chose Deutsche Bank, but that's what they told us. Okay. So I've been waiting for Deutsche Bank to collapse since 2017. Now, even I had to call my broker at Miles Franklin last night because I saw the signs. Gold started to climb. It was over $2,000 yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw that. $2,000 per ounce, which hadn't happened in a long time. So I had to call my broker last night and say, look, I can't be playing games. Like, I don't have a lot of money, but hook a sister up. So this is the collapse we've been waiting for. I don't know if you all have heard about this collapse. But hello, beautiful people. Deutsche Bank just announced that it collapsed, as well as Janet Yellen just called for an emergency meeting with all the heads of the banking system. So listen, we got to do something right now if you can. Listen, go to milesfranklin.com, info@milesfranklin.com. Email Andy Scheckman or any of his brokers and ask them for a list of inventories, ask them for prices, ask them what do they have in stock right now before before people just go crazy and start buying up silver and gold. Let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you so that you can get the best deal in the industry. Andy guaranteed it. You've heard him on my podcast many times promising that he'll give us the best deal in the whole industry. So let me show you this quickly because I do have a meeting in about 15 minutes. But look at this. Again, I was told in 2017, some of you that are in the Intel community, some of you who have Venezuelan Bolivar, what else? You might have some dinar, some Iraqi dinar. You might have Vietnamese dong, Indonesian rupiah, Indian rupee, and all other currencies. If you have those currencies, some of you have been following some of the Intel people like Utah cause. Remember Becky from the Utah cause? Well, her husband used to work for the IRS, and she kept telling us in 2016, 2017, the IRS is going to shut down. My husband works for the IRS. I know is going to shut down. People that believe her, they made fun of her. And she kept telling people back then, if you owe the IRS, write them a letter and ask them to forgive the debt. People made fun of her. Listen, I told my children, write them, tell them to forgive your debt. Tell them to give you your money back if you have a return coming, even when they wouldn't give it to you. And they did it. And I followed Becky's advice. Well, she kept saying, we work in the industry. When Deutsche Bank collapses, it's over. So look at what just came out now. Deutsche Bank tumbles. What's happening now is that the collapse is spreading to Europe. Deutsche Bank tumbles, default protection costs spike as the United States bank crisis spreads to Europe. So what's happening? In Europe, the big banks are collapsing. In America, the little banks are collapsing. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. So Deutsche Bank shares slumped lower Friday after contracts designed to insure against any default on its debt surged amid concerns that the region's second largest lender will be pulled into the recent market maelstrom. It's happening. The banking implosion, the banking crisis is spreading. So I wanted to just get down here to kind of sum this up because I'm supposed to be at a meeting in 15 minutes. It says here, stocks slump, the Fed borrowing, Deutsche Bank tumbles, block hits back. All of these things are happening. Deutsche Bank shares were marked 8.5% lower by the close of trading in Frankfurt, each while its United States listed shares were marked 3.4% lower. It is happening in the United States markets. Bank stocks were marked notably lower and pre-market dealing, with JP Morgan Chase down by 2.3.5%, Bank of America falling 1.26%. Citigroup shares, which have the largest internationally focused business of the major United States lenders, was down 2.3%. United States banks trimmed their borrowing from the Federal Reserve's various lending programs this week, but the levels of support remain elevated amid an unsteady calm in the country's banking sector crisis. So I don't have a whole lot of time. I will leave this in the description section for you. But again, we were told that when a banking crisis spreads over to Europe, when Deutsche Bank collapses, it's a good time to make some moves. Okay, so the big banks in Europe are collapsing while the little banks in America are collapsing. And so when the little banks in America collapses, then they would transfer their money or the deposits into the big banks in hopes that the big banks here in America will get the bailout, right? But what happens if you cannot bail out all of these banks when you're already in trillions of dollars in debt? They could bail everybody out, or they might just pull the plug and not bail anybody out. And then what will happen? They'll crash the system and bring up a new system. So remember, I've been telling you, at the end of every empire, they rack up all the debt, they spend up all the money, they print as much money as they can, and then they explode or crash that system and move to a new system. That's called the crack up boom. So again, large banks in Europe are collapsing. The smaller banks here in America are collapsing, and all those deposits are moving to the big banks in hopes that those banks are going to get a bailout. I don't know if they can bail out all those banks. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Do you want to take that chance? What if they don't? We've already hit the debt ceiling. Remember, Janet Yellen said that we reached the debt ceiling January the 19th on a Thursday. And she said we'll have to take some big extraordinary measures. And her solution was to take money out of United States postal workers' bank retirement accounts, and federal workers' retirement accounts. That's her solution to this whole crisis. Well, recently, hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. So recently, let's look at what Janet Yellen just called for. She convenes an emergency financial stability meeting. I don't know about you all, but it sounds to me like they're preparing us for something. This was in Zero Hedge. Let me let you see that. Zero Hedge. Yellen convenes emergency financial stability meeting on Friday as banking crisis explodes. This was just today at 10 a.m. This article was published. Look, here's a quote by Michael Hartnett. Capital markets stop panicking when officials start panicking. Here comes the panic. Listen, do you all know what happened when people panic? Let me get back to you. I'm going to get to the article. Do you know what happens when people panic? I just produced a video, I think it was 2 days ago, and I said, when people become afraid, this is what they do. And this was a direct quote from my local coin dealer. I called my local coin dealer 2 days ago and I said, what do you have in stock? You guys haven't called me in a while. Why haven't you called me to let me know about new coins coming in? I love coins, okay, because I'm a part of a coin club here, and we all like looking at coins, exchanging coins, learning about coins. You guys haven't called me to let me know anything. He said, everybody is panicking, Kia, with the banking crisis that's going on in America, and it's going to spread. So he said, my local coin dealer said, I only have 5 ounces of silver left. Normally I have 100 100 ounces of silver bars. I have 10 ounces. I have lots of grams, lots of coins, lots of gold. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, the largest landmass in the country. We only have 5 ounces of silver because people are panicking. So when people panic, what do? They make bank runs. If everybody makes a bank run, I don't even know if there'll be anything left for them to bail out. If everybody gets in a panic and say, with all these banks imploding and all these crises and bank stocks crashing, I'm going to take my money out and I'm going to roll it over into something that is a hedge against inflation. Roll it over again into something that's safe. Roll it over into precious metals that will hold its value and increase in value. If everybody does that, there's no bank. There's no bank to bail out. Even if people don't roll their money over in their fiat dollars into precious metals, but they just take it out and put it under their mattress or in the walls, or hide it in their shoes or whatever, put it in their bra like my granny used to do. If people start making bank runs, which they're doing right now, I don't know that there'll be a bank to bail out. So let me get back to this article. Please hit the like button, share the video. What else do you want to say? Listen to the video, replay the video. I've got 9 minutes left now. Here comes the panic. Bloomberg just reported that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, you all know who she is, was single-handedly responsible for stoking and restarting the bank crisis on Wednesday, which until that day was easing back with her comments that nobody in charge was even talking about a uniform deposit insurance, let alone working on one. She said she will convene the heads of top U.S. financial regulators Friday morning for a previously unscheduled meeting of the Financial Stability Oversight Council. Janet Yellen has just called an emergency meeting with all the heads of top United States financial regulators. Why? When they told us there's nothing to worry about, is there an emergency meeting going on? Can somebody please tell me? Can somebody please? Oh, send the email. Absolutely. Why are we having an emergency meeting right now? Because banks are exploding. Banks are imploding. Stock markets are crashing. They're collapsing. We've been saying that this is going to happen for a while now. But they said there's no reason to be concerned over Deutsche Bank. No reason at all. I mean, it's just the second largest bank in the region over in Europe. You don't have to worry. It's going to be okay. They're there. Just turn on Netflix or just turn on your TV and let's look and see what Will Smith is doing. Oh, how about let's check out and see Rihanna and how she's pregnant or just had a baby or whatever these celebrities are doing, and just go back to sleep. Just lull yourself. Rock my baby on the treetop. Oh, just go back to sleep. There's nothing to worry about. No reason to be concerned over Deutsche Bank, Schultz says. This is the German chancellor. Olaf Scholz on Friday said there's no reason to worry about the health of Deutsche Bank after shares and the lender dropped sharply. Would you worry if you were invested or you had stocks, you partially owned a business and the stocks dropped sharply? Would you be concerned? I know I would be. Deutsche Bank has modernized and organized the way it works. It's a very profitable bank. There's no reason to be concerned, Schultz said after a summit of EU leaders. Family. Now, I'm not here to cause panic. I'm not here to cause fear. I'm excited actually because I'm really a little I don't want to say I'm happy, but in a way I am, because this is what we've been waiting on. Remember, I told you that If you follow Big Swear on roadtoruta.com or Road to Ruta YouTube channel, he said it was a plan all along. It was a plan all along for the white hats or the good part of the Federal Reserve to go ahead and print up all the money, let it be a credit bubble. Because as I told you, at the end of every empire, they spend up all the money, they print up as much money as they can, and then they explode that system. They crash it and go to a sound monetary system. It is called the crack up boom. And Andy Schectman told us about that, remember? I asked him if that was the case, and he said, yes, it is. So, family, all I'm saying is be ready. Don't sit on the sidelines in despair. Don't wait to see what's going to happen. Be proactive. I'm just going to put this website again. Be proactive and not reactive. Reactive people are people that wait around and see what's going to happen. They have knee-jerk reactions. They wait till the last minute. Reactive people will wait until there have been major bank runs and they're waiting to see if there is a bank bailout, and they may hear that their money has been taken out of the bank or not, or they'll wait until the last minute to go get precious metals, which again, precious metals are a hedge against inflation. They maintain their value. Precious metals right now are increasing. The cost, the price, the value is increasing. Remember, a long time ago, I told you, in order to pay off all the debts on the books, you have to revalue gold. Experts have said, they used to say you have to revalue gold to between $10,000 and $100,000 per ounce. Now they're saying $80,000 to $100,000 per ounce. Some are saying even more than that. You have to revalue the gold in order to pay off all the debts that are on the books: Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all of those type of programs, all of the debts that we have, you have to revalue gold. Reactive people will wait till the last minute, wait till people make bank runs and go and run and get their money and put it in precious metals, and then the demand for precious metals will go up. And when the demand goes up, what happens? It'll affect the supply. Wholesalers already were struggling last year after the pandemic, right? Because people were rushing to put their dollars into precious metals. If wholesalers have an issue getting the product themselves and then giving them over to the dealers, and the demand goes through the roof, there will be a supply issue. And as the demand increases, so will the prices. Don't be a reactive person. Be proactive. Take responsibility. Be responsible and take responsibility for maintaining your wealth. Even if you just have a few dollars, find a way to protect your dollars. What will I suggest? I can only tell you what I did. What I would do: leave just enough in the bank to pay bills, because my bills still got to be paid, to run my business. Yes. And anything else, Dr. Kia Pruitt, no, I'm not trusting the bank. Now, I do believe, like some people, I believe that some people believe that the quantum financial system will mirror everything that you have in a savings and checking account. But what happens if everything freezes? Jim Rickards said you can expect, if every country drops the United States dollar for trade and goes to gold for trade, which they are doing right now as we speak, then he said all those dollars will flood. Thank you so much. Will flood right back into America, and those dollars will become devalued and worthless. And then he said the dollar will become worthless and all dollar denominated assets will plunge to zero. Then you will have an ICE 9 scenario, which means everything will freeze. Your credit card might stop working. Your ATM card might stop working while everything it freezes, while the system explodes, because 209 countries already agreed behind the scenes that when triggered, they will all drop the United States dollar for trade. Thank you so much for your blessing. I appreciate you. They will drop the United States dollar and go to gold for trade, right? I've shown you articles time after time that the world is hurtling back to gold for trade. Let me see if I can find it. So what was that trigger? Putin was the trigger. When Putin went over to clean up the ukulele, or Ukraine for 46 didn't like that. He put sanctions on him. And then what happened then? Then whoops, sorry about that. Then what happened is, that's my 1 o'clock appointment. What happened is he led the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, to then rush towards the gold standard by dropping the United States dollar for trade. They joined BRICS. Now it's BRICS Plus. We just heard an article, read an article came out that said Zimbabwe is now joining BRICS, which that's no surprise to us. I read you for months. I've been reading all the countries that have joined BRICS. So Russia, Vladimir Putin led Russia and the BRICS Union to join BRICS Union to drop the United States dollar and rush towards gold for trade. So all the world exporting nations have dropped the United States dollar. That Putin was the trigger. They plan to do this. 209 countries agreed to do this behind the scenes. The world is hurtling back towards gold as money. This article even goes on to explain further that we're moving towards the gold standard. Even in America behind the scenes, I've been reporting on this. People haven't been reporting this. Dr. Pruitt has been. 43 states now have repealed taxes on the sales of precious metals. They either introduced legislation to do so, or they've passed legislation to repeal taxes from the sales of precious metals. Why? Because when you release precious metals from being taxed, you are acknowledging them as sound money, as legal tender. It's happening, family. We are moving to the gold standard. So I just wanted to come on today to let you know that Deutsche Bank has collapsed, and we've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this since 2017. They told us, because Deutsche Bank is one of the largest banks actually in Europe, in that region. So again, Deutsche Bank just announced it's collapsing. I told you all on last week that the Federal Reserve raised their interest rates. So I said they raised their interest rates the highest since 2007, when we had another banking collapse. So I said then, when I reported this last week, get ready, you're about to see more banks collapse. So big banks are collapsing in Europe. Smaller banks are collapsing in the United States of America, and all those deposits that are in the smaller banks will now transfer into big banks. Can you trust your local credit union? I don't know. I think it's still a bank, but I really don't know. So the deposits will transfer into the bigger banks in hopes that they'll get the bailout. Will they get bailed out? Who knows? I'm not leaving anything up for chance. If you have the opportunity, family, get precious metals. Contact Miles Franklin. info@milesfranklin.com is the address. Ask for a list of inventory, see what they have, ask for a list of prices. Let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you so that you can get the best prices in the industry. Yes, I'm an affiliate with Miles Franklin. Why? Why did I choose Miles Franklin? Thank God they said yes, and they chose me because they're the best in the industry. Andy Schectman has a wonderful, exemplary reputation, both personally and professionally, and that's important to me. Okay. I want to know that you have a good personal reputation, and that your integrity is intact. He's a great man. They have an A+ business rating. I'm talking about milesfranklin.com, Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. Never had one customer complaint. Been in the business for about 34 years. Okay. They've reached several billions in sales. So $8 billion in sales. So that's why I'm with Miles Franklin. I even called my broker. Look, I'm an affiliate. I believe in selling precious metals, but I was like, I can't be slacking. I don't even have a lot of money, but the little bit I have, you all know this is my business right here. I'm going to protect it. So my name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, most magnificent life that you desire and deserve. It doesn't matter how much money you have, even if you don't have enough to pay for shipping, and if your state still has taxes, go to your local coin dealer and see what they have and get what you can, or get sterling silver, that's 92% silver, or get constitutional silver, which is 90% silver. Okay, I'm late now and I gotta go. I love y'all. Get you some precious metals. info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you. Peace. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.